Kashmir. The terrorist behind the third targeted killing in Shopian has been arrested. The ADGP has said that the terrorist lobbed a grenade at the labourers. This is the third targeted killing in the last 3 days. Now, this time, pro-Pakistan terrorists targeted 2 labourers and were shot dead in their sleep in yet another cowardly attack. In a parallel development, an encounter has now broken out in Shopian. All right, so as we're pointing out, of course, there has been a considerable amount of outrage over these targeted killings which have taken place in Shopian. What we get to know right now is that the terrorist who is believed to be behind the third targeted killing in Shopian has been arrested. The ADGP has said that the terrorist lobbed a grenade at the labourers, and this is the third targeted killing that has been reported in the past 3 days. The situation, of course, continuing to remain tense in Shopian over there. Zeenat is reporting live. Zeenat, good morning. Zeenat, to begin with, give us an overall sense of what's happening over there. We're now learning that one of the terrorists who could have been behind the third targeted killing has now been arrested.
See, Nupur, we are reporting from the Gehend of Shopian, where the exchange of fire was witnessed between the terrorists and the security forces a while back, as we talked about the encounter. But since this exchange of fire was reported from the orchard, apple orchard, now the search operation has started, because this is a very huge and the vast area where the gunshots were heard. Now we are seeing, as my VJ Bashir is giving you the visuals from the spot, where the reinforcement is being rushed to the spot where the exchange of fire had taken place. Talking about as you said, about the target killings in the Kashmir Valley, from here around 500 meters from the Gehend place is the Hermand, where the targeted killings were reported in the midnight, where the 2 lone local laborers were killed by the terrorist Imran, Bashir, Ganie, who has now been arrested by the Jammu and Kashmir police, because the confirmation has come from the top cop of J&K police, ADGP Kashmir, Vijay Kumar, said that Imran, Bashir, Ganie, a hybrid terrorist working with the LET, Lashkar-e-Toiba, was behind the attack. He hurled a grenade at the non-locals who were sleeping on the rented accommodation. They were living in a tin shed. He hurled a grenade. The cause of the death was the splinter injuries that both the laborers received. They were taken to the district hospital Shopian, where legal and the medical formalities were done by the doctors posted there. Since 12:30 a.m., we saw a lot of action in the Shopian district, where the police swung into action, and in less than 3 hours' time, the hybrid terrorists, the terrorists who were behind this attack, were held by the J&K police. Although the investigation in the case is still on, multiple raids are being carried by the J&K police in Shopian and other districts of this South Kashmir. Meanwhile, the gunshots were heard here in this very orchard, where from my VJ is giving you the visuals. You can see the reinforcement, the vehicles from the police department as well as the army are here. These Jawans are keeping an eye, because this is an orchard area where the gunshots were heard. In fact, the exchange of fire was reported from this very place. So this is the area where this is the Gehend of Shopian, where the gunshots, so the exchange of fire was reported a while back. Although the search operation has started, because this is a very huge patch of land where the terrorists are hiding. In fact, the drones were also pressed into service to locate the exact exact location of the terrorists, those who are hiding in this orchard. So back on the one side, we are seeing that the target killing being solved by J&K police in less than 3 hours of time, and on the other side, we are also seeing that anti-terror operation has been launched by the J&K police along with an Indian army in Gehend of Shopian. So a lot of action coming from the Shopian, because 2 days back, when we talk about the Shopian, that the Kashmiri Pandit was martyred, was killed by the terrorist.
Absolutely.
Just when he tried to come out
now,
from his home. Since then, the Shopian police was on alert. They've been looking for the terrorists, even those who are behind that attack. Yes, Anupur.
Zeenat, what I wanted to ask you is that this has become a considerable security challenge for law enforcement agencies over there, because these hybrid terrorists, they slip in, conduct these operations and then merge back with civil society. So in that sense, do you think that this is becoming a big challenge for security forces?
See, Nupur, this is always a challenge for the security forces because the kind of hybrid terrorists, the way they are making the movement, because it is very difficult for the security forces to identify such people, despite those people are on radar, as they have been saying that they are able to identify now. That is why we see that the kind of information now the police gets, the human int that they get, that in less than 3 hours, that the terrorist who carried this crime, he was arrested. That means that the human int or the information is coming to the police, because people are also not with the bloodshed, because the kind of protests that were witnessed in Shopian or other districts of the Kashmiri Valley after the killing of Kashmiri Pandit Puran Krishan. But since obviously the terrorists want to disturb the situation on ground, because they are targeting those people only who are vulnerable, the soft targets, because someone is in sleep and you see in the dark, in the middle of the night, in dark, taking the advantage of darkness, somebody is moving around with the grenade in his pocket and then hurls grenade and causes injury, or because of the splinter injuries the person dies. So tracking those moments in the darkness of night is a challenge for the security forces, be it in any place on earth. It's very difficult to track the moment, particularly during nights. Although we are seeing the alerts or the security beefed up, deployment increase, the Naka points increase, but if somebody is committing a crime somewhere around 12:30 in AM, so it really becomes difficult, because this tells you that how the terrorists try to make their movements now, because during daytime the alertness is more, the forces visibility is more. So taking advantage of darkness or the middle of the night, they try to carry the crime. But despite all this, we also witnessed that how they were able to crack the case in less than 3 hours when they arrested the killer. So this is a success on the one side, but such killing should not happen again in the future, for which J&K police needs to pull up the socks along with other security forces so that such killings are stopped.
Right, absolutely. And Zeenat, obviously there is incredible pressure also, because we have seen targeted killings take place in the valley, and there are a large number of Kashmiri Pandits who are still not going to work, who are still asking for more to be done.
See, there is a pressure from the Kashmiri Pandit community on the administration, the police, because they have been demanding their relocation. Now they are also demanding the work from home. So definitely this has caused a lot of pressure when it comes to the target killings in the Kashmir Valley. But despite all this, the police, whatever is possible within means, they are trying the best. That can be witnessed in today's case also, when they were able to arrest, because identifying a terrorist and then arresting, it also requires a lot of efforts. So since this killing was reported from the Shopian, since then we are seeing the multiple raids, the coordinated search operations, many people being picked up, they are being questioned, and finally the police is laying its hand on this hybrid terrorist who has been identified as Imran, Bashir, Ganie. So police is working, the intelligence is working.
All right, I'm going to come back to you, Zeenat, in just a bit. Stay with us.
More than 3 decades.
Zeenat, stay with us. I'm sorry to interrupt over there. We're going to come back to you, but Mr. Sinha on the phone line with us. Mr. Sinha, how do you see these targeted killings that are taking place? Obviously, it is quite a challenge for security forces, because these are hybrid terrorists. So what that essentially means is that they're not listed. They come in, they carry out these targeted killings, and then they slip away in the night. So how do you see this going forward, and how do you think security forces need to rise to this challenge?
This has become a routine now. Target killing, which is taking place, it may be taking in any form by anybody. We may call it a hybrid war and all. But the matter of the fact is the people are losing lives. And the situation is, more or less same. There may be a lull for a period. Then a game starts off. They're targeting, the Kashmiri Pandits, the laborers, the pattern remains done. Whether it is the TRF, Total Resistance Front, whether it is Alba, the name has changed. But, the situators are the same. So we are in circle, as, I feel it, because all out operations we carry out the same way, that we identify and, we do the coordinate search and, then we eliminate. But the main perpetrator is, sitting across, and they will keep doing it, and we will keep taking it. We keep talking. We have to do something now, from where the thing is coming. The epicenter is not in Kashmir Valley. Because the long hand is coming from across, we all know. But we have to do, the things is carrying on in some form or other last 30, 35 years now. We are able to control and, and a lot of things have changed. The kudos are there. But now the time has come very decisive because the ground is there, people are there with us. You see yesterday, the way the Hurriyat offers, the locals have, now put in India over there. So a lot of expectations are there. We have to go all out, and that all out includes whether a hinterland and also across. Until unless we punish, the deterrence will not come.
All right, Major Sinha, appreciate your speaking to us on Republic TV. Thank you very much for